Okay, welcome. Thank you for clicking on. Today I'm going to share a bit of a story with you, share one particular item that I've picked up in my recent car boot sale haul, and share some tips on what made it so special. What knocked the value from this much to this much. So I hope you enjoy. Stick around and let's have a little look together. So the boot sale season coming to an end. Went to my local car boot sale in a wet field in the morning, and 3-4 rows there at the most. I think about 3 rows. And there's a queue of about 50 dealers to go in, of which I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm not at the end, not the front. I wasn't in a rush to get in there. There haven't been a lot coming out of there lately, so I thought, nah. So in we goes, pay my pound in to go in, and I'm walking around, and I picked some really, really nice stuff up. So I got some beautiful things to put into a haul video this week. Now I was very surprised. I gotta be totally honest with you. I spent less than £50 on probably £400-500 worth of stock. Absolutely wonderful day, considering I was expecting to go in there and buy nothing. Because a lot of the times the same dealers over and over, especially towards the end, you lose the general public. They only come out during the summertime. But I got to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised. I bought some really, really good pieces, and then I walked around and round and round. And there was one item on a stall that I looked at, which is this, which is a Victorian copper planter or jardiniere stand. I asked the price. She said £20. It's a 45, £50 planter of anybody's money with the embossed bouquet of flowers here, and on the side then there's the fleur-de-lis and then the masks of a lady. So it's a 45 to £60 jardiniere. Now I rejected it at £20. It's nice, it's got the age, but it's just a little boring. I walked away and left it there. Probably 10, 20, 30 dealers asked the price, thought exactly the same as me, or very similar to what I thought, and walked away and left it there. And I walked around and round and round, and we were 2 hours in. That's how many times I'd walked around these 3 rows. And I was chatting with Kieran, and we were walking back, and he said, I'm going to go and take a look at it. And I said, how much do you want for it, love? She said, 20 quid. I said, how about I give you 15? It's nice, but it's a bit boring. And we settled on 17, and I walked over to it. And my eyes couldn't open any wider. My eyeballs almost fell out. Honestly, what I found changed this from a standard piece to a spectacular piece. And I'd missed it at the beginning of the day. So had every other dealer out there. This was a turning point. Let's see if you know what it is. So this is the front of the planter or jardiniere stand. Have you recognized yet why it's worth the money? This here is a family crest, or otherwise known as an armorial. Now, armorials were considered property by the, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Heraldic society. So basically, armorials and crests and things, they were actually property. You couldn't have just an armorial knocked up. So the fact this has got an armorial on there tells me it's either from, well, it's obviously from someone wealthy. That's without a shadow of a doubt. But it's either from a big wealthy family with a manor or a mansion or something along them lines, or it could be like a private school, an old boarding school or borstal or something along them lines. Either way, it's come from somewhere of importance. No question about it. So that turned this, with that armorial, from a £45 jardiniere planter to £155 on my site. Now I have one similar to share with you in a bit, slightly bigger than mine. Well, say slightly, quite a bit bigger than mine, a few inches bigger, and they're up £260. Take a little look at this, and then I'll share the images with you. Right now, it's got masks on the side. both sides. Fleur-de-lis all the way around. It's got the Armorial on the front. It is a little worn, unfortunately. Now, what we got on this Armorial is you have a suit of armour or armour helmet on the top, surrounded by scroll work and foliage. Underneath the helmet, then you have a shield. In the shield, you have 2 crossed arrows. That V isn't an initial or anything. That's what they call like a separator V. And then you see 2 upright half crescents or crescent moons. Now, I've run loads of searches. I found a few variations, but I haven't been able to find the exact family. Odds are it's British. No, I bought it in South Wales in a little field in a rainy morning, and I'm really hopeful that it's a piece from a Welsh family. That'd be lovely. Anyway, let's take a look at the item. So this gives you an example of the item. It's a substantial piece. It's 12 inches by 10.5 inches. It is a substantial piece. And it is a good looking piece. Now, important with this, you'll see when I show you the images, it's still a little dirty. It could really do with a good buff and a shine. I'm not touching it. This has got 100, 120, 130 years of patina on there. And I will leave that for whoever buys it. It's an absolute stunning thing. There's the Armorial. So a good look at the Armorial there. Now all this embossed work here. Now, it has worn a bit with cleaning, but that's normal. The fact it's even there. Now, if I could find the family and it came from a really important family, then you'd be talking really, really good money. If I could identify the family, then it could be an important family. This could end up being a museum piece. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but it depends totally on how important the family were. There's just a little bit of verdigris there on the side of there. It really is a good substantial plant, and on the back there's a bouquet of flowers. Now that's what I saw originally when I looked at it, and I said, oh, it's nice, but it's a bit boring. And then when I saw the Armorial, let me share with you the one I found. Now this one's a little bigger, but it's also damaged and missing the handles and all the rest of it. This one's mine's 12 inches, and this one I believe was 17, so it's 5 inches bigger in diameter, which is quite a bit. But they're also £100 dearer, and it's got damage. They has got quite a bit of damage. It's lost all the handles on the sides and some repairs. And they're asking 260. So, Armorials. They don't just come on brass and copperware and things like that. I've had 18th century drinking glasses with family crests on. It turns an 18th century drinking glass from £100, £200 to a £600 to £800 glass, depending on the family. I've had bowls, crystal bowls with silver rims. Sterling silver is really common to have family crests on it, because not everybody could afford sterling silver 100, 200 years ago. So it was only the good families that had it, and they were all crested. Hell, I've even seen cutlery with family crests on, and that's got to be wealth. You get Chinese porcelain comes with family crests. Basically, if you see a piece of anything with an Armorial on, there is a collector's market just for Armorials or crests. Now you can search them up. There are places you can search them up. There's websites, there's books you can get. I have tried everywhere. I've even asked online, and nobody seems to be able to identify the Armorial for me. A little gutting, but you know what? It was a lovely little treat to find it. When I saw that Armorial, honestly, I had a little flutter. It was a really nice surprise on a slow morning. But it's not just that. I've had a midget miner's lamp, I've had some carvings, some candlesticks, some bronzes. And I was walking around a car boot sale the other day. It's not Christmas yet, but I was there walking around the car boot sale playing jingle bells on my new bells. And the amount of people that turned around and said, that's not annoying at all, so I played it even louder. I was in one of them wind-up moods. So yeah, I've had a really good bit of buy-in, some lovely things, some Newlin copper, some Chinese brass, where it's been really good. So there'll be a whole video coming out now over the next few days. But if you see an Armorial on anything, even if you think it's Chinese porcelain, it turns out to be fake because it's Samson. That's even Samson's collected. Now, Samson is a 19th century master forger who's now collected in his own right, and he specialised in Armorials. You see Armorials on a lot of his things, all right? So, but either way, if you see an Armorial on something or family crest, then you know the family had money. The item has more importance. So that's my little story of my £17 brass planter becoming a little bit of history. And you never know, I'm asking 155 for it now. If I'm ever able to identify the family, if someone comes along and says, do you know what, I know the family, there they are, thank you, it could end up being £400, £500, £600. It all depends on the family that owned it. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you liked seeing the planter. Don't forget the tip, Armorials and things. Now, I've started up a Patreon and a YouTube membership. If you're interested, that is where all my educational things go. How-to videos, anything educational goes on the membership side. It's only £1 a week. It really is nothing. But one of the problems I'm having is I've been shadow banned by YouTube. Now, if you're wondering what a shadow ban is, it is, according to YouTube, they don't do one. But a shadow ban is basically a silent suppression of your videos. You don't get banned, but they just don't promote your videos to anybody. I've done a big, massive article on the website, antiquesarena.com, where I've been back and forth for weeks now with YouTube creator support, trying to get some help, which isn't forthcoming. So at least if someone comes to the membership, they pay £1. At the very least, I know they value the educational side and they're going to come back and watch it. Because I'm telling you now, if you do not hit the bell for notifications, and even then, you still may not be told that I've put a video out. The amount of people that come up to me and say you're still creating videos is shocking. It is simply because the algorithm doesn't promote my videos, plain and simple. I've done a lot of research on it this week, been arguing with YouTube, and I've even put a subject access request in SAR into Google and YouTube for all the information they hold on me, including metadata, tags, anything to do with my YouTube channel, anything. So I will get the bottom of it. But in the meantime, if you want to learn anything about antiques, how to become an antique dealer and things, I've got about 100 videos, educational videos now in the membership side, all designed to help teach you how to be an antique dealer. But if you just want the free entertainment, then you get the haul videos and the tips I share in the haul videos. So I think that's about it. So if you like my content, please hit that bell for notification, because I'm telling you now, otherwise you will not see me again. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.